Good evening, night shifters. This is Third Shift HFY. Settle in, and let tonight's stars tell their story.
The Galactic Council chamber boiled with panic. Hollow screens flickered with battle footage. Alien hunters torn down by unseen assailants. Their technology turned against them in a green hell. Counselors of every species shouted over one another, voices layered with fear and disbelief. At the center, the archive's keeper raised a trembling limb, projecting the final transmission from Earth's jungle. A hush fell. On screen, a battered alien hunter crawled through the mud, the camera panning up to reveal a human special forces team watching, weapons at the ready, faces unreadable. "Is this some trick?" a counselor demanded, mandibles quivering. "How did prey become the predator?" Another, scaled and ancient, shook their head. "No, the archive does not lie. Earth is now legend." A sudden silence, heavy and absolute. In that pause, the galaxy recalculated its fears. A new alert spread like wildfire across the networks of 100 worlds. The archive had issued a bounty, unprecedented in size, on any human survivor, their tech, or even a trace of their DNA. Hollow posters flickered above city streets and spaceports, looping video of Earth's rainforests and the faces of grim, mud-street soldiers. Translations rolled in every language. Apex identified, Prem awarded to those who capture the predator. Bounty hunters gathered in the neon-lit depths of asteroid bars, comparing rumors and gear. Some boasted of easy prey, others quietly watched the shaky footage of jungle ambushes, their confidence eroding. The archive offered riches, technology, even new worlds, if only someone could bring back a human alive. At the far end of a smoke-choked cantina, a veteran hunter adjusted her breathing mask and loaded a plasma carbine. Her eyes, yellow and reptilian, never left the screen as the human woman in the footage executed a perfect, cold ambush. She grunted, half to herself. "If that's prey, then the galaxy's changed more than I thought." Outside, ships began to launch. Warriors, scavengers, even curious scientists, all drawn by the promise of the hunt. No one, it seemed, had learned from the jungle. Far above Earth, in the humming heart of a secret orbital command station, humanity's leaders faced their own reckoning. Screens lit the room, alien bounty posts, intercepted transmissions, faces of the missing and the dead. The jungle war was over, but the galaxy had declared a new, darker game. General Soto, eyes haunted but steady, addressed her team in clipped tones. "They're coming for us now. Every mercenary, every archive dog with a plasma rifle and a grudge. This isn't about revenge, it's survival." Special Forces units mobilized, their gear a patchwork of Earth tech and captured alien weapons. Dropships were loaded with everything that had saved them in the jungle. Traps, camouflage, homegrown AI drones, grim determination. Even civilian survivors were armed and trained. The lesson of the Amazon was burned into every soul. Down in the barracks, a squad leader sharpened the jungle blade, voice low as she spoke to the new recruits. "Out there, the rules are different. We fight smart, we fight together. If they think they're hunting prey, they're already dead." The humans prepared, not just to survive, but to take the fight off-world. Every commline and secure channel hummed with one unspoken mantra: "Let the galaxy come. We are ready." Across alien worlds and star-choked moons, the hunt for humans erupted in chaos. Teams of alien bounty hunters, reptilian, insectoid, and machine, descended on remote outposts, mining colonies, and dense urban sprawls, each driven by the promise of archive glory. They tracked rumors and sensor blips, hunting in pairs and packs, sometimes falling over each other in their hunger for the prize. But everywhere they landed, things went wrong. On the storm-racked mining world of Helos, 2 armored hunters breached a sealed tunnel, sensors hot with the scent of human DNA. They pressed forward, weapons high, only to trigger a sequence of homemade explosives that collapsed the shaft behind them. In the dim light, human eyes glinted from behind camo netting and scavenged alien gear. A firefight flared, brutal and brief. The hunters fell, their weapons snatched up by survivors who vanished before reinforcements arrived. On a frostbitten asteroid colony, another team tracked what they thought was a lone human child, only to find themselves flanked by hidden sentries. their own tracker drones hijacked and turned against them. Across the galaxy, the pattern repeated. Alien hunters found themselves outmaneuvered, outwitted, and, most humiliatingly, harvested for their own technology. The myth of the apex spread from world to world, leaving a trail of broken armor and warning signs painted in human blood. We're not prey. You're not welcome. In the sterile cold of an alien research facility, alarms screamed. Red warning lights strobed along glossy corridors as containment doors slammed shut. Human survivors, prisoners captured on jungle worlds and asteroid outposts, moved with disciplined urgency, hands slick with sweat, faces set with iron resolve. The lead, a battered woman in scavenged armor, yanked a stolen plasma cutter across a lock. Sparks burst. Behind her, a wiry man in torn fatigues rewired an alien panel, overriding security protocols in a rapid-fire dance of improvisation. The youngest survivor, barely more than a child, crept through vents to disable sensors with scavenged tools. An alien scientist tried to block their path, weapon raised. The humans didn't hesitate. A quick, brutal takedown. One silent, one swift, and the way was clear. As the last barrier fell, the humans stormed into a landing bay. In seconds, they commandeered a hunter dropship, using every trick learned from their enemies. The ship roared into the stars as alarms echoed behind them. Their transmission, patched into every open frequency in the sector, was defiant. We're coming home. Anyone in our way is fair game. The galaxy watched in awe, and no small measure of fear, as the hunted escaped, and the legend of Earth's apex continued to grow. On the distant moon of Celera, a famous archive hunting preserve, the tables turned in ways the galaxy had never seen. Alien bounty teams stalked through artificial forests under twin suns, armor gleaming and weapons ready, expecting an easy hunt of scattered, frightened humans. Instead, they walked into an ambush so precise it felt inevitable. Hidden among the tangled undergrowth and false rocks, human commandos watched every move, relaying positions and setting remote charges. As the lead alien hunter stepped into a seemingly open clearing, the ground erupted. Stun mines, net launchers, and scavenged alien turrets firing from concealed hollows. Panic spread through the ranks. Alien hunters ran for cover, only to be picked off by silent figures moving in perfect coordination. Their comms jammed, their sensors spoofed, and every exit choked with traps. Human voices, cold, coordinated, unflinching, barked orders over hijacked archive channels. Within minutes, the preserve was littered with battered armor and abandoned gear. Only a handful of aliens made it out, dragging stories of prey who hunted like apex predators, using their own rules and weapons. And at the heart of the carnage, a single, chilling message was painted in scarlet on the shattered bark. Hunt us again, and you'll join the archive as trophies. The archive's proudest feeds, usually reserved for victory reels and legendary trophies, became a spectacle of humiliation. Across every major world, news screens and private networks played the same footage on loop. Alien hunters routed, their traps disarmed, their weapons repurposed by humans, who seemed to fade in and out of the shadows like phantoms. A pirate broadcaster, human by voice, hacked into the galactic news stream. Her words, clear, cold, and impossible to ignore, ran out across the stars. Earth's apex is not for sale. Hunt us, and you become the story your children fear. Clips followed. A squad of armored humans taking down an entire archive team in a derelict spaceport. A lone survivor marking a defeated hunter's armor with Earth's sigil before vanishing. A group of children using stolen tech to send a mocking, defiant wave to the cameras. In boardrooms and council chambers, the galaxy watched in silence. What had begun as a sport had turned to legend, and legend to a warning. The myth of human supremacy wasn't just fear. It was proof, played for all to see. And in the dark, hopeful corners of conquered worlds, whispers spread. Perhaps, for the first time, the prey had a champion. The Grand Archive Council, once a bastion of arrogance and order, was now a theater of fear. Elder hunters, archive officials, and planetary rulers packed the chamber, voices raised in desperate debate. Holoscreens glowed with reports of failed hunts, vanished squads, and broadcasts of humans hunting their would-be captors. A scaled ambassador pounded a clawed fist on the table, eyes wide with alarm. This is no longer sport, it is contagion. If we continue, we risk galactic war. Others shouted for a ban on human hunts, some even proposing amnesty or withdrawal from Earth entirely. A few demanded the extermination of all human settlements beyond the homeworld, but these voices were lost in a wave of panic and uncertainty. The archive's keeper, voice hollow, called for a vote. The message was clear. The old rules no longer applied. Earth was off limits, at least for those who valued their lives and reputations. As the decree echoed through the chamber, some councillors stared at the screens in horror, others in reluctant respect. One thing was certain: the legend of humanity had changed the archive forever. In the wake of the Council's ruling, humanity seized the initiative. Across subspace channels, a signal pulsed, a carefully orchestrated message from Earth's leadership, encoded in a dozen languages and broadcast to every archive relay. Earth is closed. The hunt is over. Any archive agent entering our space will not return. To underline the point, human commandos launched surgical raids on known archive safe havens. In the debris of a starport armory, alien weapons were left piled and burning, Earth's sigil painted above. On a backwater archive moon, a squad of hunters was found bound and unharmed, a data stickling from the leader's claws. It played a single file, footage of the Amazon, the first reversal, and a voiceover. Cool, clear, without malice. Apex predators aren't born. They are made. By trial, by loss, by memory. We have learned, so will you. Galactic news feeds went into overdrive. Some archive veterans quietly erased any trace of Earth hunt from their records. Others, shamed or awed, passed the message on to their kin. For the first time, it was the hunters who feared the dark. The stars wheeled above 100 worlds, and the tale of Earth's apex spread faster than light. In archive training halls, new recruits were shown footage of the failed hunts, first with skepticism, then with dawning fear. On the outer worlds, children whispered the name human as both threat and hope, spinning stories of the jungle war, the turning of traps, the galaxy's first true reversal. Former hunters who'd survived the chaos became reluctant storytellers. One, scarred and humbled, spoke in a smoky bar to a ring of young listeners. We thought ourselves unchallenged, but Earth isn't prey. It's a crucible. If you go there, go to learn, not to hunt. Across the galactic net, the archive quietly retired the Earth hunt bounty. The Council's decree held, for now, but the lesson endured. True predators adapt, endure, and never forget. And so, long after the jungle fell silent, the myth of humanity thrived. In the dark corners of space, the legend was whispered in every tongue. Never hunt what you don't understand. In the shadows, somewhere far from home, a human soldier checked her gear, smiled, and vanished into the wild. The story was just beginning, one the galaxy would never forget.